Okay, in this video I'm going to demonstrate two different things. I'm going to divide polynomials using two different methods. I'm going to use long division and I'm going to divide individual terms. Now, how do you do that? Basically, you have to decide what kind of problem you have. If you look at this problem, you're dividing this polynomial by another polynomial. And this polynomial is a binomial, isn't it? So we could rewrite it like this. And you can see that your denominator is a binomial. On this one over here, let's rewrite. It's a slightly different problem. And notice that my denominator is a monomial. Now that's an important clue. If your denominator is a monomial, you want to divide individual terms. Now let me show you what that means. I'm going to do this one on this side first. I'm going to say that this denominator belongs to each one of the terms in the numerator. A lot of students will just see, oh, 2x here, 2x here, and they'll just cross it out, and you can't do that. Okay? Instead, what you have to do is this denominator has to go with each of these individual terms. So you would do it like this. Plus, denominator has to go with that one. And then this one. And then what you do is you simplify each one of these individual terms. I like to say that difficult problems are just a bunch of simple ones that you stack up. And here's another good example. You've taken this problem and changed it into three simple problems. Let's go ahead and just finish this problem off so you can see what the answer is. 4 divided by 2 is 2. X cubed divided by x is x squared. Over here, 2x over 2x is just 1. And this over here basically just stays like that. Okay, because I can't really reduce it. So 4x cubed plus 2x minus 1 divided by 2x, and this would be your answer. If you were to multiply 2x times this, you would get that answer again. Okay? Now let's go ahead and do the long division. Remember I said that if your denominator is a polynomial greater than just a monomial, like in this case a binomial, then you want to use long division. Let me show you how that one works. Because that can be a little tricky. So I'm dividing by x plus 2. Now what I have to do is I look at my numerator and I have to ask myself, is that in correct descending order? Okay. And actually it is, but it's missing something, isn't it? It's missing an x squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a dummy variable. I'm going to say 0x squared as a placeholder. Let me show you how that works. There it is. Notice that I'm changing all my subtractions to adding the opposites. That's just a neat little trick I'll show you later on. Now when I look at my number, my polynomial that's my numerator, I've got x cubed, x squared, x to the first, and then the number. Okay? Once you've done that, I want you to draw columns wherever you see a plus sign. That's one of the reasons why we did that. So let me show you. There's a column, there's a column, and there's a column. Now I tell my students, please do this exact same procedure. Try to copy exactly what I'm doing here because it really will save you a lot of grief and a lot of problems later on. Okay, so again, make sure you have it in correct descending order and fill in any dummy variables. I'll just put that to the side. Okay, so those are the two things that you're looking at. Now, I've got a cube column, I've got a square column, I've got an x to the first column, and I've got a constant column. Now what you have to do is look at the two leading terms, okay? And you ask yourself, what, this is a space here, what times x gives me 4x cubed? And the answer is 4x squared. So write in 4x squared. Now you take that 4x squared and you multiply both of these terms and you put them in the right column. So 4x squared times x is 4x cubed, so I put that in the cube column. 4x squared times 2 is 8x squared, so I put that in the square column. And then just like a regular long division, you subtract. You should always get 0 in the first one. 0 minus 8 is a negative 8. And then these two guys just come down. And then you start all over again. So you go to this column, you go to your leading term, and ask yourself, what times x gives me negative 8x squared? And the answer is negative 8x. Again, you're going to multiply both of these terms and put them in the right column. So negative 8x times x is negative 8x squared. Negative 8x times 2 is negative 16x. And then you put that in the x column. Go ahead and subtract. Remember, you're always going to get 0 in the first one. 2 minus a negative 16 is adding, isn't it? So you'll say 18x. Bring down the 1. Start all over again. Take your leading term. What times x gives me 18x? And the answer is plus 18. So I'm going to write plus 18 there. Multiply that by both terms. That gives me 18x, and that gives me 36. Divide. Subtract, I mean, so you get 0 there. Negative 1 minus 36 is negative 37. Now that becomes my remainder because I can't do any more here, okay? Now the way you write the remainder, let me just rewrite everything down here. I'm going to take this and write it down here. 8x squared minus 4x squared rather minus 8x plus 18. And then I'm going to say plus negative 37 over x plus 2. So you take whatever's left over here and you put it over your divisor. And you just tack it on to the end of your answer. And that's it. If you were to multiply this times this, you should get that. Okay, I hope that helps. And just keep on playing this video over again to see if you can find the right pattern on this. All right, good luck.